How goes it, everybody? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys are having an awesome day. Thanks for tuning in. Today's the subject matter we'll be talking about. Today's middle class power couples, always a subject matter that I love to talk about, especially in today's time frame, with so much student loans and credit card debt and all that, crazy stuff. And prices of items going up on a regular basis. People being more mindful and conservative in regards to their finances is becoming a growing trend once again. And I think that's awesome because doesn't mean you have to just hold on to every single dollar that you make, but you need to be at least smart about a lot of the dollars that you're spending. That's just, how you're spending it and how you're saving it and all that good stuff, So that's my approach. But before I get into today's subject matter, I wanted to say, one, thanks to all the people who are subscribed to my channel. Two, thanks to the people that have liked my videos, previous videos. And another thing, in case you don't know who I am, I'm basically, my content in regards to gets into the meat and potatoes of financial intelligence, and I talk about other things that are happening that around the country. Never anything political because that gets on my nerves, but everything just from people working together and collaboration. Have a Larry's Anything Goes online store, and the link will be in the caption below. Sell various products from electronics to clothes and things of that nature, and my own little t-shirts. So that's one aspect of my business. The other aspect is Patterson Properties. Well, I'm trying to do wholesaling with real estate, and recently I just purchased my first investment property. So that's my background in regards to my businesses and me being an entrepreneur. I'm still new to it all, but I'm going strong. And if you are an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, please inbox me. Hey, let's collaborate, let's motivate, because none of us can do this all by ourselves, and we never will. It takes a team, it takes a village, and we have to continuously press on and move on and keep a positive attitude and a positive mindset around us, because negativity is a killer of all dreams. But anyways, welcome. That's my background, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video. All right, so let's get into this. So I recently read an article that a good friend of mine emailed me, and it's pertaining what are considered to be new and improved power. The old stigma from my parents and grandparents was, high-paid people, as far as people who were living in a nice big house in a nice suburb, and they both make the six-figure salaries and things of that nature, and they work real hard, and they spend a lot of hours at the office or wherever they may be, and they're considered their version of the American dream. But nowadays you have people like these two. And because the name of the article is Flesh and Blood Robots for Amazon. And these couples basically take advantage of clearance aisle sales and resell it all online for a profit. Nothing new, but a lot more people are just doing it, and I think that's awesome. It's genius if you ask me. The couple in the article, their names is Justin and Kristen Hubert. They drive to basically local Target stores and Walmarts and purchase clearance sale items. They record where they buy the products, and they do this for their 6,400 YouTube subscribers. I think it's cool. It's just a normal thing to see people recording videos, walking around with a camera or their cell phone, recording a video, uploading it to YouTube, Facebook, or wherever, and usually doing it for fun or just doing it because they enjoy the content that they're created. A great example, the other day I saw a guy in the gym. He had somebody following him around. He's a bodybuilder / trainer, and he creates content for his YouTube channel. Nice guy, always speaks, and that's a rarity nowadays, so gotta give credit where credit is due. He does these videos at least twice a week, sometimes doing the different workouts, and trying to get people to join his workout routine program in his classes. So I think it's pretty cool. But back to the article at hand. They have about 32 packs of water that's sold on clearance for about $5. Each from a back storage room brought out to them, because they buy wholesale, and they just resell the products at a higher price. Now bear in mind, this is one example of the products that they sell. They sell multiple other products, but they were both financial professionals in the banking industry. That I thought was pretty cool. They're both financial professionals in the banking industry, but the bottles of water are considered packets of gold, as they call them. The business model is that they sell them for about $19.95. Now, if you subtract the taxes and fees, they obtain about $6.16 in profits. Usually the target runs earn them about $198. Now, Justin is 30 and his wife, Christian, is about 28 years old, and stated that they make about $150,000 a year from the business. Living in Arizona with that kind of money equals that they are playing the money game in a big, big way. Arizona is a reasonably priced state to live in. A lot of people are moving there, and if you make it $150,000 and you don't have a lot of outrageous debts, I think you're doing pretty good, especially if you know what you're doing with the money. And especially since they are getting more tax write-offs from their being business owners, because a lot of people don't realize that, because you see in this picture right here, Justin's driving, and he's most likely, if he's smart, he's tracking his miles when he's coming and going from each store, coming and going from the house in each store, and really coming and going anywhere since they have their own business. So gas, maintenance, and miles, that gives them a nice hefty tax write-off at the end of the year, and they can use that. Obviously, if they're smart, they'll use that money to put it back in the business to get the tax write-off. So once again, that is the money game. Love it or hate it, that's just the way it is, especially nowadays. So get involved. If you can have some sort of a side hustle, get one. If you can afford to establish an LLC and S corp, do it. Make it all legal. There's so many apps nowadays. It's so easy to track freaking everything. And it makes it easier for people to have a business nowadays. Just imagine, I'm a millennial. Imagine how it was for the baby boomers and the Generation X's. It was much harder for them to own a business than it is today. It's harder to make a profit, but it's very easy to own one because of all these apps and this technology that we have. Man, take advantage. I'm telling you. That's all I can say. Sorry if I get a little hyped up, but I'm very passionate about people having some sort of ownership in some sort of way outside of being a homeowner. But that's just my personal opinion. The basic idea that just stems from purchasing water bottles and vacuums and Monopoly boards and just resell them on Amazon for a profit. People do it on Amazon, eBay, and so many other sites that people can do this stuff on. I've seen it on Facebook to where it's called the online yard sales. People just sell stuff on the online yard sale. You ain't got to do it in front of your house anymore. It's just gotta love the internet. There's no other way to put it. More and more people are leaving their jobs in exchange for more work responsibilities, and what these ultimate side hustles are turning into is freedom. Because obviously, if you own a business, it's going to be more work, it's going to be more responsibilities, but it can transition into freedom. Freedom in my book is being able to have options, not being put this thing on rich, is just being able to have options from a financial standpoint, to where you can't say, okay, I'm tired of working this job, I don't want a job anymore, I'm going to work a part-time job or just be an Uber driver to make some extra money, but my business is doing decent enough to where I have a lifestyle where performance appraisals are a thing of the past for me, job interviews are a thing of the past for me, but business opportunities and business social engagement and collaboration is the now and the future. That's what I consider to be freedom, but that's my personal opinion on that. So freedom, meaning more and more free time with your families and friends. Love that. Like I always say, and others always say, most people's idea of being rich nowadays is having more free time with those that they love being around. I always hear stories, a lot of times people hate going to work because they're in a hostile environment. They don't like the people that they're working with. They love what they do, but they cannot stand their coworkers, or even sometimes the customers, depending on the job, or how dangerous the conditions might be, because maybe they're working on the road, outside, whatever, and they have the chances of losing a limb or losing their life. I always give more respect to those blue-collar workers than anybody else, because that's life-threatening, back-breaking work right there. My hat always goes off to you. So I always had to put that little tidbit in there. This couple now, they have a profitable business, and it started out as a side hustle, and that became bigger than they could ever imagine. And another great thing that I love about this article is that the couple is saving up to adopt a child. This is not just about financial freedom and trying to be like, oh, I'm better than everybody else. Not all that nonsense. No, they actually have an end goal in mind. And obviously, if they can adopt a child, they can spend more time with that child, loving and nurturing that child, and not having to spend 8 to 10 hours a day at a job that they don't particularly want to be at. I think that's pretty cool, but that's just my personal opinion. In December of last year, in 2018, according to Google Trends, searches for retail arbitrage, is what they call, has spiked on YouTube, where aficionados post videos of their shopping and reselling sprees. One reseller who has more than about 52,000, that's awesome, 52,000 YouTube subscribers, filmed his 22-hour buying binge. That's a lot. I got to give this guy credit. Through 17 Walmarts. He filled his tank with 182 Monopoly games and flipped most of them in one night for $2,500, $2,500. That's a hustler right there. So I got to give credit where credit is due. Got to give credit where credit is due, because a lot of people, the idea of just trying to do that, and this is just a great example. This picture of Justin going through the store with all of his items, and, going back and forth. And bear in mind, it's hard work, but I think it's hard work that deserves to be, commended and striving to do better and build a life for themselves that they don't have to take a vacation from. I always use that headline because that's the life that a lot of people are living. And so the gentleman I'm talking about earlier that wanted to make $2,500 in one night, his name is Mike Rizzy Resendez. So Rizzy Resells is his trade-off name on YouTube, so you can check him out, and I'm sure he might have some great products. He's a retail arbitrage kind of salvation for him, and a lot of times when people create their own business, it just becomes their salvation and the savior for them at the same time. And it's their faith in their business, faith in God, or faith in whatever that they may believe in, that drives them on a regular basis. And I can respect that, all at the same time. Resendez said he grew up in a troubled household and he was married with a child by age of 16. Crazy, but give him credit for fighting through those barriers in life. As a teenager, he noticed commercials for eBay on TV and started selling whatever he could rummage around the house, like his Nintendo and its games and controllers. And I look at people like that because a lot of times they're part of the minimalist movement, which is basically a lot of people getting rid of a lot of their stuff that they don't need, because public storages makes a lot of money because a lot of people are just addicted to keeping stuff that they know that they're never going to use, but trying to let go of it becomes a very, very emotional thing, so. And there's a lot of things, and I can understand that too. I'm not casting stones, We all have a lot of times stuff laying around the house that we used once or twice and never going to use it again, and it probably was a waste of money, and it's a waste of space. But a lot of times there's a lot of people, the smart people, are downsizing in life, so they're just getting rid of a lot of stuff, not even just throwing it away, just donating to Goodwill, making sure that other people can utilize those things so they don't just go to waste. So I think that's an awesome thing. Now that Resendez, he's 34 years old, he has been reselling items online full-time for about 14 years. So he's been in the game for a long time. His YouTube channel, Rizzy Resells, I did get it right, has more than 85,000 subscribers. Man, more power to this guy. Resendez calls his followers Rizzy's Ninjas. He runs his company with his best friend, which is, if you're working with your best friend, come on now. That's a beautiful thing. From high school and overseas, he oversees a small team who buys up goods from stores like Nike, Marshalls, and Ross, which is the same thing as Justin does. He just gets it from Walmart and Target. So last year, the company saw about 800,000 in gross sales. 800,000 in gross sales, awesome. And 800,000 gross sales and profits. Bear in mind, they made about $240,000 in profit in January. That's awesome. He got more than 8,000 in ad revenue from YouTube. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. Now, not everybody can do this, but you just do the numbers for yourself. I always say do that self-reevaluation of your life from a financial standpoint, and a physical standpoint, and see where you can make improvements. Because we all need that sort of self-improvement at times. I know I do. Hey, nobody's perfect. So one day last month, Resendez had about more than 100 pairs of Nike shoes in his garage that he planned to ship to Amazon. Awesome. He was working on a YouTube video breaking down how he bought 100 Nerf guns from Target.com and flipped them for about $1,500. It's a beautiful thing. It's the American way, right? Resendez, who lives in Santa Cruz, California, said retail arbitrage has kept him from having to work a 9-to-5 desk job. Kept him from having to work a 9-to-5 desk job. Think about this, people. He also knows online resellers and small business owners like him are crucial to Amazon's model. The last time I checked, Amazon isn't going anywhere. So I think it's awesome that stories like that and more stories like that are appearing. I hope myself to be a part of that team. I'm just getting started out here when it comes to Larry's Anything Goes online store, but I hope to be a part of this one day, and I hope you yourself are part of this, because there's so many of us out here nowadays that work jobs that we do not like. We're in the office and we can't wait till it's time to go, and you don't want to end up like these people right here for the rest of your life. Starting off that way, nothing wrong with that, but do you want to really truly end up like that? That is the question of the day, and I would imagine most people don't, because we all want to wake up being fulfilled and loving our life and loving the people we're spending around, loving the communities that we're living in, and not just living in those communities because of a job, but we're living in those communities because it's where we really, really want to be. So that's it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll make sure I'll put the link from the article in the caption below, and please check out my store as well. And if you don't buy anything, hey, that's cool. Please subscribe to Larry Says Anything Goes YouTube page, and I'll have my Facebook page as well. I'm started bumping up my YouTube creativity. And hey, thanks for watching. If you guys check this out, and hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Take care.